ancestors come from Fiji and Rotuma. My dad is from Fiji and my mom is from Rotuma. So I am, because we are matrilineal society, Rotumans are, so I am a Rotuman, matrilineally. And so that's my ancestors. Originally from the South Pacific. I come from a single parent home. I barely made it to college, and there was a teacher in college who made me think outside the box. He made me understand that that education is not just being in the classroom for 2 hours or 4 hours a day. Education is bringing what you learn outside to the classroom, and that was powerful because what I was doing outside was amazing, but I didn't know how to bridge that into the classroom, and the teacher was able to show me that there is relevance. When you make education relevant to a child, like in my experience, it makes sense to them. So they're not just going to school from 8 to 3 and trying to figure out, why am I here? But they know why they're there because it makes sense to them in the communities. It's relative to the experiences. My career has, for the past 10 years, has been in education. I have been an educator. I have taught college classes. I've worked in different capacities, most specifically in student services, oriented departments. For the last 5 years, I was involved with the outreach program in the community, TRIO program, and we work with low-income first-generation students and a lot of students who came from underrepresented and underserved communities. In the last year, I shifted positions and I became the new program director for the Cultural Envoys Leadership Program here at UVU. And this is a program that gives students an opportunity to think about how culture is important for the success in school. And so our main philosophy in this program is to validate student culture. And when we know through research, when you validate student culture or cultures, students are successful academically. A lot of classes that I took in college were very important for me in terms of getting ready for this career. And some of the classes that I took was a lot of social science classes. I'm a social scientist by profession, pursuing a degree, hopefully, that will help me further my career. But my expertise is in finding why people do what they do, and what works, what doesn't work, and using techniques that are social science, that's familiar to social science, specifically qualitative research. And figuring out how and why our communities need help or can do better. And so that's and the classes that I've taken that has really helped me have been classes that talk about how culture is important, how culture is relevant to your experience as an academic student. My success is not an individual success. My success is a collective success. I'm successful, it makes my community successful. And part of the culture that I come from, symbolisms are very important. And especially when you live with a lot of symbolisms that are around us that are very deficit of our cultures. And so I represent not only myself, my family, my immediate family, but also my community, which is my larger family. And if I'm unsuccessful in my, it shows. And like I said, symbols are very powerful. And so to be a positive symbol for change is important for people in power who come from underserved communities like myself and others that are engaged in this work in our community. If it wasn't for my culture, I'd be living someone else's goals. Yeah? Because I'm a strong believer in telling my own story. and that my goals has to be mine. It can't be someone else's. And my culture is a perfect example of how, because I don't think in any way my culture teaches me to be a second-class citizen in the classroom or to be a failure. My culture teaches me to be successful. Yes, there are deficit stories and narratives about people from our communities that a lot of times tend to say that or refer to us as failures or as only football players or second-class citizens. We're not second-class citizens. We're not only football players. We're not supposed to only be doing remedial classes in college. We're supposed to be successful. That's our legacy. Our legacy is that we discovered, we settled, and we're still discovering the biggest ocean in the world that holds 2/3 of the waters in the world. 1/3 of the languages spoken in the world is found in the Pacific region, my home, my background, where I come from. And so no one can tell me that I'm supposed to be a failure. My advice to other Pacific Islanders about college readiness and being prepared for college is to start yesterday. Yeah, that you have to start a day before. You can't wait till tomorrow. You can't wait till today. If you want your students to go to college, start yesterday. Because and find resources, find people who have educational capital in our community. Connect with them, but be responsible. And when we tell our students you need to go to school, it's more than just telling your students to go to school. You have to do everything to make sure that your students go to school. You got to understand why you want your students to go to school. Because I think a lot of times our parents tell us, yes, none of our parents tell us to be unsuccessful when we leave to school. They all tell us to work hard, but they may not know the specifics in terms of what that hard work entails. You got to apply for FAFSA. You apply for FAFSA your senior year. In fact, your junior year is when you start looking at colleges. You apply for college. You apply for 3-4 colleges. So parents, please, we all tell our kids to work hard, but we gotta work hard too. We gotta get off those couches, figure out why it's important for our students to go to college and how to get them to college. What do I need to do? A, B, C, D. Apply for FAFSA. Apply to the colleges. Help them with the ACT. With ACTs, there's waivers. They can get waivers, and they can do as many as 6 times or 7 times ACTs. I mean, it's numberless times, as long as you get, to get a better score. And so these are some specifics that a lot of times our parents are not mindful of. And so we can't rely fully on the schools to do everything for us. And if the schools are not functioning, question the schools. Go up to the counselors. Ask them, hey, what's going on? What's going on with my son or my daughter's grades? How can we make sure that my son and daughter graduate? And you can't wait till the senior year. Yeah. So it should have started yesterday. Yeah. And so that would be my advice.